little by little. God says that the reason I'm taking my time is because he said before I shift you, I have to first shape you.
Well, come on, preacher.
Listen, I discovered that the worst thing that can happen for us is for God to move before we are ready to be moved.
My God.
The worst thing he can do for me is to promote me physically before I'm ready to be promoted spiritually. God has to have for some of us that he has to move us, and before he moves us physically, he has to shape us mentally. Because what will happen is that when we're not ready to be moved, then what would happen is that we would take our dysfunctional, delusional disability into the place of our blessing. If we're not ready to be moved, you know that there are some folk that God can't bless abundantly because they are too arrogant.
Come on, preacher.
Right now,
say that.
I mean, there's some folk that God has to take his time. I mean, because they already got the big head. Come on, they already speaking stuff they feel they do it on their own. And so God has to deliberately, for some, gotta take his time. You ever seen somebody that move up in the job, and all of a sudden now they can't speak?
My Lord.
They can't eat lunch with you no more. I mean, they got moved up to be the assistant, but they're not the assistant of the supervisor. Come on, they the assistant to the assistant. And they already got the big head. So God said, listen, what I have to do, God said I gotta make sure is that you're ready mentally before you can be changed physically. God said he's doing it little by little. According to the text, God says there are three times in the text between verse 20 and verse 28 that God gives us reasons of why he's taking his time. God tells us in verse 20 and verse 27. In verse 20, he tells us that you have to wait on the angel of God.